Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon, everyone. Everyone. Please see, look, page number 35. Page number 35. So we have already completed Akusala-Cittas. Akusala-Cittas. 8 Lobha-Mula-Cittas. And 2 Dosa-Mula-Citta. Another 2 Moha-Mula-Citta. Altogether 12. So I think if you see this chart, I think very easy, you know, not difficult. So when you look at Lobha-Mula, we have 4 Somanassa, right? Somanassa. And 4 Upekkha. Sometimes we do Ahosandit based on Lobha with the full join. Sometimes we are doing Ahosandit with the Lobha without join, right? Without join your feeling. Then when we talk about Dosa-Mula-Citta, accompanied by aversion, right? So when we are angry, our mind is no joy feeling, so aversion, together with the displeasure, dominanza, right? We have a dominanza feeling. When we talk about 2 Moha-Mula-Citta, we will have a 2 Upekkha, right? 2 Upekkha. Lobha-Mula and 4 Titikata Sambayoda, Citta accompanied by wrong view, 4 Citta accompanied by wrong view, 4 Citta dissociated by wrong view, like that. So I think I will not repeat. I hope you already digested, right? I think you need to know. So today we will study another new session called 80 Ahetuka-Cittas. 80 Ahetuka-Cittas. Then you can look at page number 34. 43. Page number 43. 80 Ahetuka-Citta. We call it rootless citta. 43. 80 Ahetuka-Cittas. Rootless, no root. Ahetuka-Citta in Pali. So I think better use in Pali, right? At the same time, you need to know translation as well. So, but we will use Pali language. Ahetuka-Citta. Rootless consciousness. So the one Ahetuka means without root. Hetu means the root or the cause. The cause of your wholesome action, the cause of your unwholesome actions. So we are doing wholesome deed, unwholesome deed. So there are the causes, 6 causes. 6 causes. So the moment 80 Cittas arises, 80 Citta arise, so there is no root in your mind. In your mind. The moment you see, the moment you hear, the moment you see, eye consciousness. The moment you hear, ear consciousness. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, they are Ahetuka. Ahetuka. The moment you see, the moment you hear, there's no lobha yet. No lobha yet. No dosa. No moha. That means no root. The moment you hear, there's no alobha, adosa, amoha. Then followed by eye consciousness, followed by ear consciousness, we will have so many Cittas. So later we will learn, we call it mind process, mind process. So the moment you have ear consciousness, eye consciousness, there is no lobha yet, no lobha in your mind. But your mind need to work a lot, process. Then only after javana movement, javana, later I will show you, javana movement, you will have a lobha or alobha. So the moment 80 Ahetuka-Citta arise, there isn't any root, whether good root or bad root, right? So it is similar to the word mula. The word hetu is similar to the mula, similar to the mula. So the remaining 71 Cittas. So we have 89. So if you minus 80, so it became 71, right? So those 71 Cittas are called Sahetuka, with the root. The moment 71 Citta arise, you will have one of the 6 rules, at least one of the 6 rules. So later it will be clear, right? So we have 6 root according to Buddhism: lobha, dosa, moha, greed, hatred, delusion. So these 3 are the root of all unwholesome deed. You are doing unwholesome things, bad things, evil things, because of these 3, right? Because of these 3. Sometimes we do unwholesome deed with the lobha, because of lobha. Sometimes we do unwholesome deed because of dosa. But lobha and dosa rooted in moha, right? Moha. We will have alobha, adosa, amoha, non-greed, like a generosity, like a renunciation or letting go. All these are non-greed. Adosa, non-hatred, compassion, loving kindness, sympathy, patience. All these are adosa, non-hatred. Amoha, non-delusion. Non-delusion means clear comprehension, wisdom, understanding, knowledge, like that. So amoha, non-delusion. So these 3 trees are the root of all wholesome deed, kusala karma, and indeterminate, abhyagata. So here, indeterminate means the resultant Cittas and functional Cittas according to Abhidhamma. So in abhyagata means neither wholesome or unwholesome, neither kusala or akusala. So that means vipaka and kriya, right? Vipaka and kriya. We are doing wholesome deed based on these 3. These 3, right? Based on generosity, based on alobha, you do dana. Based on adosa, non-hatred, so you trying to keep precept like that, right? Based on amoha, you trying to do meditation like that. So alopa, adosa, amoha are the root of hosandit, or the cause of hosandit, right? Hosandit. So altogether we have six root. We call it Ahetuka. Why 80 Cittas are taking place in our mind? So they are neither wholesome root nor unwholesome root. So thereby they are called rootless. Just the moment you see, when you see, then unconsciousness arises. The moment unconsciousness arises, no lobha yet, no dosa yet, right? Then followed by so many mind movement. Then only after javana movement you will have a lobha or dosa, moha, alopa, adosa, amoha, like that, right? So therefore, they are called, 80 Cittas are called rootless, Ahetuka. Since they are not motivated by six root, maybe I will give you another example. Enlightened people like a Arahant and the Buddha, they also see, right, unpleasant things. They also hear criticism and blames, right? But they don't have a dosa. They don't have a lobha. They eat the same food, right? But if someone do not have a proper understanding, then attachment will come. Those who are practicing continuous mindfulness and clear comprehension, no craving, no lobha, right? No lobha. So therefore, we are eating the same food, but some people have a lobha, some people do not have a dosa, a lobha, right? Lobha. So therefore, later when you see the mind process, you will know it better. So therefore, the moment these 80 Cittas taking place, then there's no any other good or bad root. So therefore, we call it rootless. Since they are not motivated by six root, they are relatively weak. So when our mind is motivated by lobha or dosa, very strong, very strong. When our mind is motivated by alobha, adosa, amoha, very strong, right? Very strong. But these Ahetuka-Cittas do not have any sixth root. So therefore, they are relatively weak. So for that, I think if you do not understand right now, don't worry. Later you will know it. Then I will go a little bit deeper. But for that, I want to mention a simple mind process that you will see in the suttas quite often, not in Abhidhamma. No? Of course, in Abhidhamma as well, especially in the suttas. So there are many passages that mention this one. This is a simple mind process, how the mind is working. Yesterday, I listened one of the talk by Bhikkhu Soma, American monk. He talked about Western philosophy Western psychology and Buddhist psychology. And he mentioned that, the importance of mind process, how the Buddha trying to investigate the nature of the mind. You know? So compared to that, Western psychology is far behind, he said that. So for that reason, when you look at here, I think we will know mind process, simple mind process. So here, I sensitivity. Simply it is the I, Normally we say the I. Normally it's not the eye. Sensitivity inside the eye. There is we call it retina, right? Retina. Very similar to the retina. Eye sensitivity. Even though some people have eyeball, they cannot see, right? If they do not have a retina. So here, same thing, eye sensitivity. Sometimes we will call it eye, If I say eye, so that means I refer to eye sensitivity. Cakkapala. Eye sensitivity, I have an eye sensitivity and visible object. Then because of these two, eye, something to see, then eye consciousness arises. Eye consciousness is Ahetuka-Cittas. Now we are going to learn. Ahetuka-Cittas. The moment eye consciousness arises, no lobha yet, no dosa yet, no moha yet. At the same time, no alobha, no dosa, no moha. Not any of the 6 root. So because of these two, eye consciousness arises. The meeting of the three here, eye sensitivity, visible form object, eye consciousness. The meeting of the three is called contact. Not a physical contact, Contact here is not a physical one. It is a mental one. We call it contact is one of the mental factor, cetasika, one of the cetasika. Normally, when we talk about contact, we understand it is a physical contact, right? No, it's not a physical one here. Here, I will give you the same example. Your body is touching to the chair, right? Why am I talking? You do not notice, right? You do not notice. Because your mind is not there, right? Your mind is not there. Your mind is listening to me, right? So for that reason, you do not know. There's no contact between your body and the chair object. Only after I talk right now that you notice, right? You notice the contact of your body and the chair, right? So that contact is not a physical one. Rather, it is a mental one. We call it cetasika. So you can see that eye consciousness is citta. Contact is a cetasika. So meeting of the three is called contact. Because of contact, you will have a feeling. Feeling here is not an emotional one. It is a sensation. You experience it. You sense, your eye sensitivity sense visible form object, right? So because of feeling, after feeling, you will have a lot of mental activities, mental actions. Sometimes you feel angry, sometimes you feel greedy, jealousy, compassionate, right? Aware, like that. So these are mental activities. We call it sankhara in Bali. Sankhara, right? Sankhara, mental. Normally we translate as a volitional formation. It's two, volitional formation is a two form. So therefore I like translation of Bhikkhu Sujato from Australia. You know, right? Bhikkhu Sujato. I think Bhikkhu Sujato is a scholar monk from Australia, and he translated Pali Canon. And he also trying to set up a very well-known website, Sota Centre. So he translates sankhara as a mental activities. So only after feeling, there will be a lot of mental activities, mental functions in your mind, right? Like a loba. Loba is a mental function. Dosa, compassion, loving kindness, etc. These are mental activities, right? So here, only after maybe this time, only after feeling, you will have six root: loba, dosa, moha. Maybe especially loba and dosa. Loba and dosa, and aloba and adosa. Only after this moment, this moment. So here, when you see that eye sensitivity is metta, rupa, in Abhidhamma, visible form also metta, rupa, right? Rupa. So the meeting of the two rupas create consciousness, eye consciousness. Ear sensitivity and the sound. Ear sensitivity is in metta, the sound also metta. Meeting of the two. Because of these two, ear consciousness will arise, right? The meeting of the three is called contact. Because of contact, feeling. Because of feeling, mental activities. So, for that reason, eye consciousness is Ahetuka-Cittas, rootless Cittas. The moment eye consciousness arises, there is no loba, no dosa, no moha yet. No aloba, no adosa, no amoha yet. So here, the importance of after feeling, independent origination, after feeling we have a craving, right? Craving is a, normally we take it as a loba, right? A loba. Actually, not just a loba, it is a dosa as well, Based on feeling, we will have a loba and dosa. But if you practice mindfulness, clear comprehension, sati sampajanya, then after feeling, you will have a aloba, adosa, amoha, right? Especially aloba and adosa will arise. So there will be no loba, no craving, no loba, no dosa. So here, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, these are Ahetuka-Cittas. Then I hope you understand, right? Why we call it Ahetuka. The moment 80 Cittas arise, like eye consciousness, no loba, no dosa, no moha yet. No aloba, no adosa, no amoha yet. Only after feeling, feeling, then you will have a loba dosa moha, aloba adosa amoha, right? Okay, any question?
What is the difference between eye consciousness and contact? That's the first question. Second question is, where does perception comes in this chart?
What is different between eye consciousness and contact? Contact. Actually, contact here is the meeting of the three. Eye sensitivity, visible object. Two rupa, two metta meet together. Then because of that, eye consciousness arises. The meeting of the three is called contact. Meeting of the three is called contact. So I think it's different, right? Different. Suppose sometime, even though somebody is calling you loudly, you do not hear, right? Some occasion. You have ear sensitivity and the sound. But they are touching, the sound is touching to, according to science, right? According to science. The sound is touching to your ear sensitivity. But as you do not have any attention to the sound, you do not hear. There's no contact. No contact. Right? Physically, according to science, physically the sound is touching your earring, but there is no contact. Physically contact, but not mental contact, because you're not aware of it. Maybe you are reading, you are reading something, no? You're reading the book, or you're watching the movie like that, right? So for that reason, eye consciousness, contact are really different. Another one is you're talking about perception, sanya, right? Perception, sanya. This is another category because this one is based on we call it this is another model. This is another model of teaching. So we cannot. It's very difficult to fit to one model to another. So this one here, you can see that here we can call it ayatana, right? Chalayatana. We have a sense species, right? Sense species. So based on that, the Buddha talk about this. So when we are using the word sanya, perception, we are talking about five aggregate method. So different method. Sometimes it's very difficult to equate two methods, The Buddha trying to explain something using different model, right? Different model. So here, the word perception is not mentioned here, right? Not mentioned. When we talk about five aggregate, right? Five aggregate. The first one is rupa, right? Material phenomena. The matter. Second one is the vedana, right? Feeling, vedana. Then third one is perception. So after you experience something, you have perception. You perceive, your mind perceive, right? Whether you have experienced before or is a new one, right? Perception. Then followed by mental activities, sankhara, volitional formation, sankhara. Then after that, consciousness, vijnana. So it's a different, five aggregate method is a different method, different model, right? Different model. But if we try to put perception in this model, so we can put under this one, mental activities, right? Mental activities. After feeling, you will have a perception. But especially in the Sutta, the Buddha said that because of contact, feeling arises. Because of feeling, craving arises. Craving. The Buddha used the word craving. But here I'm trying to use. I'm trying to combine two methods. Five aggregate method. Mental activities. That I want to show the simple mind process. Okay.
Hi, Bhante. In this model, taking the case of for example, a camera, all right? There is an eye in the camera, there is visible object, and why did the eye consciousness does not arise in a camera? It only arises in living beings.
Oh, we cannot say that because the Buddha talk about for living being, right? Camera is not a living being. So actually the purpose of teaching this model is how to remove our craving, Camera doesn't have any craving. Camera is just a material one. So camera will not have any craving yet. Okay.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Yeah.
I would like to understand from in terms of the moment when eye consciousness and contact happen. So there's an object, I have an eye, my eyes, and when my eyes look at it, that means I pay attention, right? So there's eye consciousness. So when there's eye consciousness, does it mean that contact happens immediately?
Oh yeah, it's a good question because we have another factor to have a contact. I have eye, something to see. Then if I do not have attention, attention, we call it manasikara. If I do not have attention, then there will be no contact. And in the commentaries, to have a contact, we must have attention. At the same time, in the case of eye consciousness, there must be the light. The light. If it is too dark, I cannot see, right? So the light is one of the factors. But these factors are not mentioned because, even though they are important, but not mentioned here. So the Buddha talk about only main conditions, main factors. So sometimes, even though we are seeing somebody or something, right? If we are thinking something in our mind, then there's no attention about things that we see. No attention, because of that, no contact. Yeah. In the fourth chapter, we will have to learn. I will talk about other conditions to have a contact. Okay.
So that means contact and eye consciousness may not happen at the same time.
You're right.
Okay. Thank you.
Bhante, can I check? So, if a person is blind, so the person would not have eye sensitivity, but can the blind person have eye consciousness? Also cannot.
Cannot yet. So eye sensitivity is one of the important factors to have eye consciousness. Yeah. Maybe sometime people put one object in the eye, right? Even in Singapore, one lady, because of cancer, then she cannot see. But she did operation, put something into her eye, so she can see. So that even artificial one, we can call it eye sensitivity, right? Because of that, eye consciousness arises. Yeah. Okay.
Afternoon, Bhante.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate a little bit on feelings?
Sorry?
Feeling.
Oh, feeling.
Yes.
Okay. I think, shall I do it in the second chapter? Because we are talking about feeling. Feeling. Maybe here, just a little bit. Feeling, don't take it English word, the word feeling, Actually, it's very dangerous, But most of the translators are using the word feeling. Normally in English, feeling indicate emotion, right? Feeling so sorry, feeling happy, like that, right? But in this case, not a emotional one. It's just you feel it. Suppose the moment you touch the fire, hot feeling, right? Hot sensation. You just feel it. When you touch, cold water, cold sensation. when you are going under the hot sand, hot sensation, the moment hot sensation arises, no dosa yet. Then followed by so many mind movement. Then if you do not have a good intention, then anger will arise, right? Anger will arise. So feeling is just sensation. You sense hot sensation, cold sensation, pleasant sensation, and pleasant sensation, not an emotional one. So therefore, here, in this case, feeling, there is no lobha dosa yet, right? No lobha dosa yet. When you go to dependent origination, same thing. Because of contact, feeling will arise. So you have a pleasant sensation, unpleasant sensation. Then, no lobha, no dosa yet. Then, if you are not mindful, if you do not have any understanding, then because based on feeling, then craving will arise, right? Craving will arise. So for that reason, I think Ahetuka-Cittas. Actually, this is a feeling according to Abhidhamma is a Cittasika, mental factor. So in this case, up to here, there's no wholesome or unwholesome Citta yet. Only after mental activities. So sorry that I forgot to mention, this is my own model. I'm trying to miss, how to say, what the Buddha taught and five aggregate. Normally in the suttas, because of contact, feeling arise. Because of feeling, craving arise. Actually, craving. Okay, then let's talk about mind process. Mind process a little bit, not a little bit farther, because we need to know, right? We need to know. When you talk about 80 Citta, 80 Ahetuka-Cittas, you need to know this. So this is a circular life according to Abhidhamma, no? According to Abhidhamma, not according to suttas. According to Abhidhamma, so the first consciousness in our life, we call it rebirth consciousness. Sometimes rebirth linking consciousness. The first Cittas in our life, rebirth linking consciousness, rebirth consciousness. Then after that, followed by life continuum. We call it bhavanga. Then at the end, we'll die. So the last mind movement is called death consciousness. So the first one, rebirth consciousness. So the last one is death consciousness. In between, there are so many mind movements arise. It's called bhavanga. So these three are stable state of mind. They arise because of wholesome and unwholesome karma in our previous life. But here in our class, some are intelligent. Some are so intelligent, right? We have a different degree of intelligence, different degree of understanding, right? That is because of our past karma, right? Past karma. Some have a beautiful mind, some has ugly mind. Normally, we call it gene. Our gene. Sometimes our genes. Some genes are very good, some are not. That is according to Abhidhamma, according to Buddhism, because of our past karma, right? Past karma. You can imagine in your life, right? You can imagine your friends. Some are intelligent since they are very young, until they die, right? Until they die. So that quality of intelligence is inherent on the lying or underlying the bhavanga Citta. is quality of Ahetuka-Cittas. We can call it the quality of Ahetuka-Cittas. So therefore, some are intelligent since they are young until they die, right? But if you're trying to sharpen your intelligence, right? Intelligence, then your intelligence will be more powerful. But if you're trying to do unwholesome things, just like drinking, using drug, your intelligence will be getting lower, getting lower. But the quality does not change according to Abhidhamma. According to Abhidhamma. So the gene or the quality of your mind, life continue, right? Life continue. So because of your wholesome deed, you have a good rebirth consciousness. If your rebirth consciousness is good, then your life continue also good. Then your death consciousness also, the quality of death consciousness also good. But if after you die, you will have another rebirth consciousness, new rebirth consciousness. If you have done wholesome deed, good things in this life, like a meditation, if you meditate quite often, next life surely you have a intelligent one, more intelligent one. Then we have a one devotee in our temple, want to become a monk in his next life. Next life. I told him, why not this life? He said that cannot. cannot. He always attend Maranasati or the wake. He most of the time he attend the wake. I told him, so in your next life, definitely if you have a desire to become a monk next life, definitely you will become wherever you are. Then because of attaining Maranasati or the wake, then you will have perception of impermanent nature. Then it will be a good condition for attaining enlightenment. So that means if we are trying to do good things in this life, good things here is whether you want to become a rich person or whether you want to become a beautiful person, whether you want to become an intelligent person. It depends, it depends. Some people want to be beautiful people after their life, right? Some people want, luxurious life. Some people may want intelligent, So all your wishes will be answered if you have a desire. But you need to do the conditions. Suppose if you want to be an intelligent person, but you need to practice clarity of the mind. You need to use your brain, like attending the classes, reading the book, listening to the Dhamma talk, doing discussion with your friend about the Dhamma or something, and meditation, the next life. So that those power, energy will be inherited in your next life. So when you die, it's called death consciousness. Then because of good and bad deed in this life, you will have because of good and bad deed in this life, so you will have a new rebirth consciousness in your next life. So if you have done a good and excellent wholesome deed in this life, so you will have a better rebirth consciousness. If your rebirth consciousness is good, then your life continue also be good. The quality, right? You can see some are very compassionate, compared to you. But some are very intelligent compared to you. We have a different quality of intelligence, the mental state, right? Mental state. according to Abhidhamma, according to Buddhism, because of Hosan and Ahosandi, you will have a rebirth consciousness. These three types of consciousness are the result of kusala and akusala karma in your past life. So you cannot change it. But you can modify, or you can make it more powerful. More powerful. But here is one. I think that's my opinion. It may be wrong. It may not be wrong. When I listen to one of the nutrologists, Mr. Bruton, so he mentioned about interesting things. According to science, the gene cannot be changed. But you can control the gene. If you have a good gene, you can switch off by doing unwholesome things. And if you have a bad gene, then also you can switch off. You can close, But it will happen. But you're trying to suppress, or you're trying to make it spring up. Make it do not spring up in your mind stream. So similarly, sometimes we may have a bad gene in our mind, right? A bad gene in our mind. Suppose anger. So anger is a natural gene in your mind. It's a quality of life continuum. Then if you practice mindfulness and loving kindness meditation quite often, but the quality of the mind will be there, You cannot change it. But you can switch off. Not to make that mind spring up. So he mentioned that we cannot change. He used the word gene, or I don't know, I forgot the gene. We cannot change the gene. The gene will happen. But we can switch off. Not that gene happen, Similarly, when we have a bad gene in our mind, by practicing mindfulness and compassion in this life, we can turn off, or we can switch on, we can switch off that bad gene, That's very important. So here, good gene and bad gene, a good habit and bad habit, the quality of life continue, The quality of life continue. So that is because of our best karma. If you cultivate a good mental state in your past life, likely to follow in this life, right? In this life. So for that reason, whether you are getting older, whether you are going to die, no need to give up, to do good things, right? To do good things. So they will follow next life. Okay, so this we call it circular life. So the first chapter in our life, rebirth consciousness. Then the last one is death consciousness. In between, we will have a one chapter, most of the time arising. It's called life continuum, Bhavanga chapter. Patisandhi chapter, Bhavanga chapter, Chuti chapter. So you need to know this one. So for that reason, so the first chapter in our life is a rebirth consciousness, Patisandhi chapter. Then followed by a lot of life continuum chapters. Here I add a lot of talk, because there are countless life continuum chapters. It is not a permanent one, This life continuum also impermanent. It arises, it will die, a new Bhavanga chapter will arise, it will die. New one will arise, die, like that. It goes like that. Then ultimately we will die. death consciousness. So this is the important 3 Cittas in our life. So these Cittas are Vipaka Citta, resultant Cittas, resultant consciousness, Vipaka Citta. Then I want to talk about active mind process, Viti. Pali we call it Viti. So the first Citta, rebirth consciousness, then after that followed by a lot of Bhavanga Citta. So here I want to use the word Pali, Bhavanga Cittas. Then when we have, then there will be mind process. So mind process here is, then we have eye sensitivity and something to see. Because of that, we will have a active mind process. Here I use the word active mind process. Active means when you have a lobha, when you have a dosa, your mind is active, right? Active mind process. So here, Bhavanga Cittas are like a Bhavanga Cittas. After active mind process, then you will have Bhavanga Citta. Some of the Bhavanga Citta will arise, then followed by active mind process, then Bhavanga Cittas, mind process, Bhavanga Cittas, ultimately we will die. So this is a mind process in our life. So the first Citta is rebirth consciousness. The last one is death consciousness. So in between, so there will be a lot of Bhavanga Cittas. Between Bhavanga Cittas, we will have a active mind process. Right now, you hear what I say. Ear sensitivity, then the voice. Because of these two, contact. Because of contact feeling, because of feeling, a lot of active mind process. We call it mind process, right? Then after that, in between, so there will be Bhavanga Cittas. Then after that, when sensitivity and object meet together, you have a active mind process. So there are a lot of mind process in our life. Even one day, we cannot count. When you see somebody, then indoor mind process. Later we have to we'll learn. That when you hear the sound, another mind process will arise. Then when you get smell, then another mind process will arise, right? Even right now, sometimes when you see this one, a lot of mind process in your mind. Then here, another mind process, right? It's happening most of the time. But in between the two active mind processes, so there are a group of Bhavanga Citta. So Bhavanga Citta is apparent and clear the moment you sleep. The moment you sleep, you do not know anything, right? Full sleep, no dream, no thinking. The moment you are sleeping on your back, you do not know. Your body is touching on your back, or you do not hear, right? No smell and no taste. In that particular, especially the moment you are sleeping, Bhavanga Citta arises, very stable, right? Your mind is just like a dead body. Your mind is not moving anything, right? Because of Bhavanga Cittas, right? So for that reason, Bhavanga Citta, the quality of Bhavanga Citta is very important. So that quality is because of past karma. Then I want to talk about one example. This is a mind process. You can see that according to Abhidhamma, this is according to Abhidhamma, no? According to Abhidhamma. According to Abhidhamma. According to Abhidhamma, so here, Mr. Rupa-Kathin. Rupa-Kathin is a president of Palita Society. He is a Abhidhamma scholar, and he talked about concentration and mindfulness in Buddhist psychology. He talked about samadhi. In other words, he talked about jhanas in his lecture. Very interesting. So later I will give this note, and you can click on that. You can click on that. So you can listen to his, he is a Bdmv scholar from England. So here, earlier we translate life continuum, right? Life continuum. So here he translates as a existence continuum. Different translation, you know. So if you do not know Pali, it will lead to misunderstanding. For that reason, you need to know that he translates the word bhavanga as a existence continuum. Bhikkhu body translates as a life continuum. So you can use wherever. But if you use Pali, better, bhavanga Cetta. So this is a bhavanga Cettas. Then bhavanga Cetta arises in your mind stream. Then you be eye sensitivity, you see somebody, the meeting of the eye and the object. So your existing bhavanga Cetta is shaking, you know, shaking. Normally, bhavanga Cetta is very, very stable, you know, very stable. It going stably. But the moment two matters, eye and visible object, then bhavanga Cetta shaking. Here he used the word vibration of bhavanga. So bhavanga vibrate. Then after that, there is one mind movement. It's called advarting. So according to Abhidhamma, bhavanga Cetta, the object of bhavanga Cetta is the object that you took in your previous life, the last moment of your previous life. Then I will give you an example. Suppose you die while you are listening, chanting. In your last life, your family play chanting. Then while you are listening, chanting, you die. No? The object of your death consciousness is chanting. Right? Chanting. Then you die, death consciousness. Then you have a rebirth consciousness in this life. Right? Rebirth consciousness in this life. So your rebirth consciousness, Patisandhi, take the object of chanting, you know, the same object that your death consciousness took in your previous life, chanting object. Then after rebirth consciousness, then bhavanga Cetta will arise. Bhavanga Cetta also took the same object, chanting. Right? Chanting. But it will be very difficult to understand, right? While you are sleeping, your bhavanga Cetta took the object of, the object that your death consciousness took, chanting, right? Chanting. So here, you have eye, then you see somebody, then because of that, bhavanga Cetta, which is running, in a smooth way, shake and vibrate, right? Vibrate. Then your mind advert to something that you see. Tend to the moment your Bhavanga-citta, then Bhavanga-citta is, how to say, taking the object of chanting, right? Chanting. Then, now, eye sensitivity, then you see somebody. Then the mind trying to turn, to the object you see. Earlier, your mind is chanting, chanting. Then, when you see with your eye, then your mind turn to something you see, something you see. That is called adverting. Adverting. That is called adverting. Adverting means your mind turn to the object you see. Then you hear somebody is talking behind. Then your mind will turn to the sound, right? It's called adverting. Adverting. So therefore, after vibration of the Bhavanga, you will have adverting consciousness. Adverting consciousness. Then after that, if it is the object, then we call it eye consciousness, right? Eye consciousness. If the object is the sound, then ear consciousness, right? Ear consciousness. Then your mind will receive. We call it receiving consciousness. Receiving consciousness. That the mind will investigate. The mind will investigate. After receiving that object, the mind will investigate. It's called investigating consciousness. The mind will determine, after investigating, the mind will determining consciousness. Determining me whether you like it or you don't like it. Whether the object that you have seen before or not, right? You determine. So determining consciousness. Then after that, we will have a impartial. He used the word impartial. Impartial, very powerful force, very powerful force. In Pali, we call it javana. Javana. So, kusala and akusala karma were right in this case, in this time, in the case of javana. So, you can see that it's very powerful movement, right? Powerful movement. You have a lobha in this moment. You have a dosa in this moment. You will have adosa, alobha, amoha in this moment. In this moment. The most powerful mind movement. So therefore, Rebecca then translates as impartial. But normally we don't translate that one. We just use javana. Javana is very powerful force. The moment you have this moment, it's very powerful. The mind is powerful, getting powerful. So here you can see that adverting consciousness, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, tongue consciousness, nose consciousness, body consciousness. Altogether, we call it sense consciousness. Then after that, the mind will receive what you see, what you hear, receiving consciousness. Then after receiving the object, the mind will investigate. It's called investigating consciousness. After investigating, so you will determine whether it is pleasant, unpleasant, whether it is the object that you have seen before or not, right? Then after determining, then impartial, you will enjoy it or you will reject it. So at the moment of javana, you will have wholesome action unwholesome action. In other words, six rules will arise in this moment, Javana moment. 6 root, either Loba, Dosa, Moha. Aloba, Adosa, Amoha. 6 root will arise at the moment of Javana. Before determining, no 6 root. The mind is just functioning, functioning. So for that reason here, adverting is 2 types. Adverting is two types. Adverting mind in the 5 physical doors. Eye consciousness, ear, nose, the 10 body consciousness. In the 5 sense doors, we call it 5-door adverting. 5-door adverting. Later, I think you can see page number 43. 43. You can see 16. 5-door adverting, right? 5-door adverting. 5-door adverting. So when the mind advert to 5 physical doors, it's called 5-door advertings. Another one is in the mind door. Even though you are seeing projector, even though you are hearing what I'm talking, but if you are thinking something, you will not hear what I say. You will not see projector. Your mind is working, right? So the mind advert to, so this adverting, advert to mind object, another object. Maybe you will be thinking about your family. Your family is an object. So your mind advert to your family. So it is called mind door adverting. 70, no? 70. 60 is 5-door adverting. 70 is mind door adverting. 2 type, right? Two. So here, since consciousness here is after adverting consciousness, then you have a eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. Altogether 5, right? Altogether 5. But not only 5, eye consciousness 2 type. When you are seeing unpleasant things, that's one eye consciousness. When you are seeing unpleasant things, another type. So when you are seeing unpleasant things in your life, because of your unwholesome deed. So that is one type of eye consciousness. Sometimes you see good things in your life, right? In your life. Because of good deed. Especially in Singapore, what you see is good things, right? Normally, good things. Because of your good karma in this life, also past life. Past life, you may have done good things. At the same time, you do good things in this life. You follow rules and regulations, and you are helping each other, right? Because of that, you see good things in your eye. So, eye consciousness also 2 type. If you are seeing unpleasant things, because of akusala karma, we call it akusala vipaka. When you are seeing good things, kusala vipaka. So, eye consciousness is 2 type, no? 2 type. And also, ear consciousness also 2 type. When you hear good things, then kusala vipaka. When you hear unpleasant things, akusala vipaka. 2 type. Similarly, when you are eating good things, when you are eating bad things, right? Smell also, good smell, bad smell, right? And the body also, sometimes you experience good things, sometimes bad things, right? 2 type. So that means Sense consciousness also altogether 10. 2 type of eye consciousness, and 2 type of ear consciousness, 2 type of nose consciousness, 2 type of tongue consciousness, 2 type of body consciousness, altogether 10. Now you have 12, right? 2 adverting, 10 sense consciousness. And receiving consciousness also 2 type. If your mind is receiving unpleasant things, 1, akusala vipaka. If you are receiving good things, kusala vipaka, 2 type. Up to now, 40, right? 40, now you got 40. Then investigating consciousness. Here is 3 investigating mind, consciousness. 3 type of investigating consciousness. When you are investigating unpleasant object, akusala vipaka, right? Akusala vipaka. But when you are investigating good things, 2 level, normal good things, 1, and very good things, excellent object. So when your mind is examining excellent an object, suppose you see beautiful, you hear pleasant sounds, 2 excellent, 2 attracting. Then this is another level of investigating. So investigating consciousness, 3 type. When your mind is investigating an unpleasant object, akusala vipaka. And kusala vipaka, 2 type. When you are investigating normal pleasant things in your life, normal good things in your life, 1. And when you are investigating 2 excellent and also attractive 1 in your life, then another level. So therefore, 3 type of investigating consciousness, right? 3 type. So now here, 2, 10, 40, then this one, 70, right? 70. So here, determining is the same as mind door adverting. Mind door adverting and determining consciousness, 1 chaita, but different function, 1 chaita. So here, up to here, you have only 70 chaita, right? 70 chaitas. You are missing one more. It is nothing but javana here. Smile producing, the mind of Arahant and the Buddha. When the Buddha and Arahant smile, there is a 1 consciousness, we call it smile producing consciousness, Ahetuka-Cittas. Later we have to learn. I think when you see the last one, smile producing, right? Smile producing. You look at page number 43, then you will see that we have 7 unwholesome resultant. In Pali, akusala vipaka. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose, tongue, body, receiving, investigating consciousness, right? It's very easy, not difficult. Then we have 8 wholesome resultant. Kusala vipaka. When you see pleasant things in your life, eye consciousness, wholesome resultant. When you hear pleasant things, ear consciousness. When you have a good smell, nose consciousness. When you are eating pleasant food, tongue consciousness, wholesome resultant. When you have a good bodily touch, body consciousness, then receiving, investigating. But here, investigation has 2 types, right? 2 types. When your mind is investigating normal good things, accompanied by equanimity. When your mind is investigating an excellent, attractive, very good object, accompanied by joy. Two types of investigating under the wholesome result, kusala vipaka. So when you look at the last three, we call it functional, kriya chaita, five-door adverting, mind-door adverting, mind producing. Mind producing is the mind that the Arahant and the Buddha produce is mind, that is a special consciousness. So together 80. When you look at 43, very easy, right? Very easy. But when you know mind process, easier, right? So you don't need to learn by heart. But this is here you will see some translation here in Persian. We translate as a javana. We do not translate the word in Persian. We just use javana. So, two types of adverting consciousness, 10 sense object, then 2 receiving consciousness, 3 investigating consciousness, and 1 determining consciousness, and 1 javana, mind producing. Altogether, 80. So the moment these 80 chaita taking place in your mind, there's no lobha, no dosa, no moha yet. No root in your mind. No alobha, no adosa, no amoha in your mind. So therefore we call it ahetuka, rootless, right? Rootless chaitas. Then I hope you understand. Any question? Before that, may I go another? This is my own model, my own chart, my own chart. Same thing, right? Same thing. So this is the indoor process. You can look at page number 155. Page number 155. So you can see that stream of bhavanga. Normally, bhavanga chaita is the main chaitas in our life when we are living. So the moment active mind process do not arise, then stream of bhavanga is arising, almost all the time. Especially when we are sleeping. Then we call it stream of bhavanga. Then past bhavanga here is the bhavanga chaita arise, continuously. That the moment the senses have a contact with outside object, then the bhavanga chaita vibrate or shake, right? Shake. Before that, one bhavanga chaita pass. Then I will give you one example. You are running, right? You're running. But one of your friends saw you, stop for a while. Then you stop there, right? You're trying to stop there. But as you're running with the force, you cannot stop where your friend is standing. He passed one more, little bit more, right? A little bit more. Similarly, stream of bhavanga happening. The moment we see an object, the moment we hear the sound, the stream of bhavanga cannot stop at once. It passes one more time, Then only after that, it vibrates, it shakes. Then after that, bhavanga chaita will stop. We call it arrest bhavanga. vibrational bhavanga will stop. Then after that, 5 door adverting. 5 door adverting. Because it is Ein door, right? It is Ein door. If it is mind door, we call it mind door adverting, right? Here is one of the sense door, so therefore we call it 5 door adverting. Then the mind will Ein consciousness. So the mind will receive the object that we see, receiving consciousness. So the mind will investigate the object that you see, investigating consciousness. That the mind will determine whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, etc. Then after determining, you will enjoy it, javana, or you will reject when you do not like it, right? You will enjoy pleasant things, you will reject unpleasant things, right? Rejecting is a dosa, dosa. Enjoying normally is lobha. So we call it javana. Javana literally means powerful force, very powerful. The moment you have a javana, your mind is very powerful, very strong, very strong. You have a lobha in this time. You have a dosa in this time. So for that reason, I think this is beautiful, right? He showed according to the strange, the mind is going up. The moment javana, the more powerful, then it will go down, it will go down. Then later it will go to bhavanga stream, bhavanga stream. So here, after javana, you will have 2 types of retention cettas, retention. 2 types of retention cettas. So after enjoying the object, then another 2 mind movement. This is a weaker, this 2 is weaker. 2 mind movement will enjoy again. Take the object, Then it will go back to stream of bhavanga again, So this is a indoor mind process. So when you look at page number 155, then you can see it, So in the chapter 4, we will learn in details. So here what I want to say is, here you can see that 5 door advertence is a one consciousness, Ahetuka-Cittas. Ein consciousness. You can replace ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, right? Altogether 10 here in this case. Then after that 2 types of receiving consciousness. Then after that 3 types of investigating consciousness. Then determining consciousness. Then there will be another mind producing, altogether 80. So the moment these 80 cettas arise, no lobha dosa moha, no alobha dosa amoha, right? So therefore we call it Ahetuka-Cittas, rootless consciousness. Then I will talk about another mind door adverting, mind door process. Here similarly we will have a stream of bhavanga citta will arise. Then after that, when you are thinking something, the bhavanga will vibrate, vibration of bhavanga, then it will stop. Then after that, adverting, mind door adverting, the mind open. Then here, when it is in the mind door, you don't need to receive it, you don't need to investigate it, you don't need to determine. Right away you enjoy it. The mind is very quick, right? The mind is very quick. So therefore, you don't need any receiving consciousness, you don't need investigating, you don't need determining. So after mind door adverting, so you right away, impulsion arise, javana citta arise. Then after that, 2 retention cettas, then go back to stream of bhavanga. So this is a mind door process. So if you don't understand right now, stay okay. What I want to say is, we have a 80 Ahetuka-Cittas.
Good afternoon, Bhante. Is there any good reason why there are two wholesome investigating citta, but only one unwholesome?
Oh, yeah. It's logical. The moment our mind is investigating unpleasant things, right? Unpleasant things. We don't like it normally, we don't like it. So therefore, accompanied by equanimity. Accompanied by equanimity. But the moment we investigate good things, if the object is not very good, but still good, accompanied by equanimity, but when the object is excellent, attracting in our mind, then accompanied by joy of feeling, accompanied by joy of feeling. So therefore, 2 degrees in the wholesome. In the case of unwholesome, all the time, you are not interested, right? Normally, the mind is not interested. So therefore, accompanied by equanimity. In the case of wholesome, normal one, normal equanimity, accompanied by equanimity. If the object is too good, attractive for us, right? Attractive for us. Then accompanied by joy. Somanasa. Yeah. Here, microphone here.
Bhante, 2 questions.
Yeah.
Regarding the 5 sense door process earlier, there's 7 moments of jhavana for normal object. Question number 1, what happens if the object is weak? Do you still have this 7 moments or is less, and why? Second question is, between the 5 sense door and the mind door process, is the 7 moments of jhavana also same 7 moments for the mind door?
Oh, yeah. Actually, this is a very, very long and complicated question because in the 4th chapter, I think we will have to learn. 7 mind movement, 7 jhavana mind movement is in general. Sometimes 5, sometimes 4, sometimes 3, sometimes 2, sometimes even 1, So in the chapter 4, it is mentioned, So later we will have to learn. Maybe I will give you one example. When the Buddha is performing miracle, only 5 jhavana arises. Sometimes 4, 4 jhavana arises. And when somebody is going to die, the last moment, only 5 jhavana, not 7. So the reason, I think later we have to learn. Maybe we will talk about it in 4th chapter.
Bhante, the 3 cittas that you mentioned in the Bhava Chakra, cycle of life, are they part of the 89 cittas?
Sorry?
Are they part of the 89 cittas?
Part of?
Are they among the 89 cittas? So, rebirth consciousness, death consciousness, bhavanga, are they in the 89 cittas?
Only Sam. 80 Ahetuka. Are they a part of 80 Ahetuka?
No, we study there are 89 cittas, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. They are part of 89 Cittas. Yeah, of course. 89 Cittas, yes.
Falling under which classification?
Actually, 2 from Ahetuka-Cittas, we have a two investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity. Two investigating consciousness. So they are, sometimes they do the function of ribbon linking. Then we will have another eight resultant Cittas from another follower session. And we will have another nine in, I think in chapter 3 we have to learn.
Okay,
So
thank
they
you.
are just a part of, 89 Cittas, yes.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
The mind, sometimes the mind have a different functions. So when we talk about determining function, then also adverting, mind or adverting. Actually, determining and mind or adverting, the same Cittas, the same Cittas. But that Citta perform two functions. But in the case of two investigating consciousness accompanied by equanimity, they do five functions. One is a death function, rebirth function, bhavanga function, and death function, investigating function. Another one, retention. So don't worry, we will have to learn in the third chapter. Okay, so I think time is up. So we will call it a day. Yo varatam bhavaro manu Jesu sakyamuni bhagavakata kecho parakato bala vidiya samangi dan sukatan saranatamu Ragavi ragama ninjama sokan Dhamma masangata mapatikulan Marura mimampa gunan suwipatan Dhamma mimam saranatamu pemi Yatta chadena mahabalamahu Chattu susisu purisa yugesu Attacha Bogala Dhammadasate Sangami Mansara Natamu Pemi Sadhu. Thank you. See you next week.